All right, let's get right into it. Getting a new diagnosis, it can be a real shock to the system, right? Especially when it suddenly flips the script on something so personal, so fundamental as what you eat every single day.
So, if you're looking at this new renal diet and just feeling completely overwhelmed, trust me, you're so not alone. That phrase just sounds intimidating, doesn't it? Kind of restrictive, maybe even a little bit scary. But you know what? We're going to flip that feeling on its head today. First things first, let's just ditch the whole diet mentality, okay? Instead of a restrictive renal diet, let's think of this as renal nutrition optimization. It sounds a little fancy, but all it means is we're shifting our focus. We're not going to obsess over a long list of things you can't have. Nope. Instead, we're going to build a powerful list of all the awesome foods you can have, the ones that are going to actively support your kidneys. All right, section 1, rethinking the renal diet. We're going to completely reframe what a kidney-friendly eating plan looks like. Seriously, this is all about empowerment, not limitations.
The whole goal here is to turn what you eat into your superpower. It's a tool, not a punishment. So instead of thinking of this as a set of rules holding you back, think of it as the steering wheel that puts you in the driver's seat of your own health journey. You've got this.
Okay, so now for the 4 key nutrients we need to understand. Look, to really use this new tool of yours, you gotta know why it works. Once you understand the why behind the rules, oh man, it all just clicks into place. It makes following the plan so much easier. First up, let's talk about sodium. We all hear about it, but here's the deal for your kidneys. Too much salt makes you really thirsty, right? So you drink more, but your body holds on to that extra fluid. That fluid buildup then cranks up your blood pressure, which puts a ton of extra strain on your kidneys. That's why the target is often to stay under 1,500 milligrams a day. It's all connected.
Next, we've got potassium. Now, healthy kidneys are like expert bouncers. They're great at showing any extra potassium the door. But with CKD, chronic kidney disease, that filtering system isn't working at full capacity. So potassium can build up to unsafe levels in your blood. And that's why we need to keep a close eye on it.
All right, number 3, phosphorus. Just like potassium, this is something that can build up. Now here's a pro tip, and it's a big one. You gotta become a label detective. A lot of processed foods have these sneaky phosphorus additives. Just look for anything with phos in the name on the ingredients list. The crazy thing is, your body absorbs that stuff way more easily than the phosphorus that's naturally in food.
And last but not least, protein. This one is a real balancing act. It's kind of like a Goldilocks situation. You absolutely need enough protein for things like repairing tissue and fighting off infections. But breaking down protein is hard work for your kidneys. Too much can really overwork them. This is why you absolutely have to work with your dietitian to figure out the amount that's just right for you.
Okay, enough of the sciencey stuff. Let's get to the good part. What does this actually look like on your plate? We're moving from the what and why to the how. And believe it or not, this can actually be pretty fun. So let's talk about some easy swaps for potassium. Instead of a banana or an orange, how about grabbing a crisp apple or a handful of grapes or strawberries? And instead of potatoes or spinach with dinner, try some carrots or green beans. See, it's not about taking things away. It's just about making a different choice, a smarter choice.
And we can do the exact same thing for phosphorus. You want to go for fresh stuff. Think fresh chicken, fresh beef, fresh fish. Eggs are a fantastic option too. What you want to steer clear of are things like organ meats, that gooey processed cheese, and definitely dark sodas. Those colas are they're loaded with those sneaky phos additives we mentioned earlier. Now for sodium, the single biggest, most impactful change you can make is choosing fresh foods over processed ones, period. And listen, you can make your food taste amazing without a salt shaker. Think about it. Garlic, onion, herbs like rosemary or thyme, spices like paprika and cumin, these are your new best friends. It's a total game changer compared to canned soups or frozen dinners, which are just sodium bombs. So what does a perfect plate actually look like? Well, there's a really simple way to picture it. Think of it like this. Half of your plate, 50%, should be full of colorful, kidney-friendly veggies. Then a quarter of the plate is for your lean protein, that just right amount we talked about. And the last quarter, that's for your whole grains. Simple, right? Half veggies, a quarter protein, a quarter grains. Okay, let's pause for a second because we need to talk about some really important stuff. This next part is serious. It's about managing fluids and some things you absolutely must know to stay safe. So please listen closely here. When it comes to how much you should drink, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. I can't stress this enough. Because damaged kidneys have a tough time getting rid of extra fluid, your daily limit is completely unique to you. You have to talk to your doctor about this. They'll tell you your specific, personal daily allowance. And speaking of safety, there are a few items that are just a hard no. We're talking avoid at all costs. First is star fruit. It sounds harmless, but it can actually cause serious kidney injury. Seriously. Also, certain herbs like parsley root and licorice root are on the no list. And please do not take any high-dose vitamin supplements unless your doctor has specifically told you to. It's just not worth the risk. All right, now that we've covered those critical warnings, let's get back to the positive side of things. Let's talk about smart, simple strategies you can weave into your daily life to make this all feel totally manageable. When you're in the kitchen, just remember these 3 things. Number 1, flavor with herbs and spices, not salt. Number 2, make fresh foods the star of the show. And number 3, always read the label. Become a pro at spotting that hidden sodium and phosphorus. That's it. It's that simple. And listen, this does not mean you can't eat out anymore. Of course you can. You just need a little strategy. Going for Asian food? Something simple like chicken with broccoli and steamed rice is perfect. At a roadhouse? Go for grilled chicken or fish with a side of green beans. And yes, you can still have pizza. Just skip the pepperoni and sausage and load it up with toppings like onions, peppers, and maybe some ground meat. You know, if there is only one thing you remember from our time together today, please let it be this. This is a quote from the National Kidney Foundation, and it is so important. There is no single correct eating plan for everyone. Your diet has to be personalized based on your own lab results. This is your journey, and you're on it with your healthcare team. They're your partners in this. Look, this is all about small steps leading to big changes. It's not about doing everything perfectly overnight. So think about it. What's just one smart swap you can try this week? Just one. Maybe you'll use garlic powder instead of salt on your chicken tonight. Or maybe you'll have a handful of grapes instead of a banana for a snack. Whatever it is, just start with one small thing. You can absolutely do this.
Okay, let's dive into the renal diet. We're going to break down exactly what to eat and avoid.
So you've been told you need a renal diet, and you're thinking, what can I even eat?
The old way was all about restriction, but now it's all about optimization and what works for you. So, what exactly is a renal diet? Basically, it's a food plan to support your kidneys.
The whole point is to manage waste buildup and slow down the progression of kidney disease.
It all comes down to managing 4 key things: sodium, potassium, phosphorus, and protein. Easy, right?
All right, first up, sodium. Your best bet is always choosing fresh over processed and packaged foods.
Next, potassium. And no, you don't have to give up fruit. Just swap for lower potassium choices.
Now, phosphorus is a sneaky one. It hides in additives, so always check labels for phos.
And protein, this one's super personal. A dietitian will help you find your sweet spot. Here's a great strategy. Go for more plant-based foods. They're way easier on your kidneys.
See, the key tactic really is this simple. Choose fresh, unprocessed foods whenever you can.
Okay, let's talk flavor. Herbs, spices, lemon. This is your new culinary toolkit instead of salt.
Okay, this is absolutely critical. Some quote-unquote healthy foods can actually be dangerous for you. We're talking about star fruit. It contains high oxalates and can be seriously toxic, even in small amounts. So does this mean you can't eat out? Absolutely not. Here's how to do it smartly. If you're getting Asian food, go for dishes with fresh veggies, steamed rice, and a clean protein.
The key is asking for no extra soy sauce or MSG, and definitely skip the soups and fried rice.
What about a roadhouse? Simple is best. Think grilled meats, plain rice, and simple salads.
And you'll want to steer clear of anything heavily breaded or covered in cheese, ham, or sausage.
Okay, all this advice leads to one golden rule. This is the most important thing to remember. Just like the National Kidney Foundation says, there isn't one plan for everyone. It has to be yours. So here's your action plan. Team up with a renal dietitian. They'll create a plan for you.
So, what's one small swap you can make today? Even a tiny change is a huge step forward.